Here we are in September 2021. Oil has just churned all year round, starting from what seems like all year round, but essentially since its first big spike in the first quarter, we've just been churning, and the energy equities have followed suit. If you've been holding this whole time, maybe you've got a dividend to show for it, but probably not too much other than that. We're about flat on the E&P stocks for the last 6 months. It's been pretty boring, and the trigger to the cessation of this rally was the Delta variant. It's what the media is saying. That's what I believe myself. It seems to the declines in the value stocks seem to coincide with the news of the Delta variant, the surge in the cases. So, deja vu all over again, right? This whole virus fear is spreading, just clobbers energy. It seems to be that energy and the materials, resources, industrial are like the first ones to drop. And what's interesting is that the numbers for the demand this whole time, they're not really showing a decline. And in the fact that when these viruses hit or the variants is spread, they don't hit the whole world all at once. They hit certain countries at a given time, and then you'll see their cases drop and things start to reopen, and then they hit another country. And sure, travel will be held up, but it's not hitting the whole world at the same time, and that's the beauty of the energy markets, is that it's a global market, and you're going to see demand roar back on a global scale. It's actually happening right now, even with the variant going on. So people are still flying. You can still see these TSA numbers. The lockdowns are not coming back, but yet the energy stocks kind of got battered as if they were coming back. And so I think there's a lot of people on the sidelines now. They're just waiting for the cases, the the curve for the cases to fall. And right now we've just kind of been leveling out, and I think some money is coming back in, speculating that this is peaking out on the variant. This could be it. So we saw these declines, and took the wind out of the sails for the energy equity rally, and we're in a even more interesting spot now because it's more pent up in terms of the upside move that is about to happen, in my opinion. And that's why I'm moving my money from the large cap super majors into more of these smaller cap stocks that are correlated with the movement of the oil majors anyway. So it's kind of like leveraging the positions. So one of the um, one of the picks I wanted to recommend is Apache. I just put $100,000 into the stock at 17.50, and I think the thing can double to next year. It's got a setup that I think is like a once in a lifetime setup where there's the data that all the hedge funds and anyone analyzing the stock would use. It was horrendous, and it was horrendous because of some poor management decisions, coupled with the volatile price of oil over the last 10 years, specifically, the decline in the price of oil while this company is highly levered to capture, upside gains in it, and and the virus, obviously, in 2020 and the collapse that happened there, along with the huge debt load. So this company, for someone who might be analyzing it, looks horrendous, and it has looked horrendous. And declining revenues and lack of earnings, these are, flagship sell signals to a stock. Although we have hit a point now where there's a rapid reversal in the key variables that drive the profits to the company, which are crude oil price and natural gas price. So the the prices now in the case of natural gas, it's like multi-year highs. It seems to be sustaining multi-year highs, um, and oil seems to also be sustaining on a higher tier, much higher tier than we saw in years prior. So this is going to cause Apache's free cash flow. It's going to cause all the E&P stocks free cash flow to rise significantly. And since people haven't been investing in drilling, they're paying down debt or they're paying dividends. And what Apache's going to do is, according to management, is they're going to uh, pay down their debt, and simultaneously the value of their assets are going up. And this is something that, back to the funds and their data points, this is something that I believe has to take place over the course of several quarters for it to show significant impact to the stock price. I don't think that it's just going to double in one quarter. I think it's going to take maybe 3 quarters. But as long as these higher energy prices are sustained, there's going to be a turnaround with a lot of these you know, troublesome, poor data points that analysts are seeing, and that could cause a domino effect in terms of getting a couple shorts out, um, breaking above those moving averages, breaking out of that like decade-long downward trend, bucking the declining revenue trend, putting some steady earnings back on the map, lowering the debt equity ratio, go all simultaneous. So this is just waiting to pop, and it's happening now with the backdrop of the bullish oil story. Apache is a stock to buy. If you don't trust it, buy Occidental, buy EOG, buy Marathon, buy Continental, Pioneer. They all have skin in the game, but Apache is just one that has been beaten. And when I had the batch of shale drillers, it seemed like Apache was always taking it on the chin. So Apache is the pick, and if for 100 thou, I'm looking to double that out. And interesting to see what's going to happen now with the crude oil, but if I had to guess, it's going to sit around the low 70s in Q4, and then we'll be low 80s in 2022, and that's going to be enough to juice these energy stocks. So perhaps I will stay in Exxon and just collect this dividend, reinvest it for the next couple of quarters, and just keep an eye on these shale drillers, because I would love to increase my Occidental and EOG and Devon positions. So let's see what happens, but opportunities abound in the energy sector. We are on the cusp of breakout mode once these Delta cases fall and record demand is coming. The cracks in the pace of the energy revolution are starting to form here, and I think people are going to start realizing that this is going to take several decades before anything meaningful happens. And unfortunately, that's right around where these peak oil supply theories are pinned on the map, on the timeline. So let's see what happens. Long Apache APA.